I'm Corey Thompson, and I hate measuring things.
Welcome to Grumble Goat. My name is Matt Labodka, and this is a show about all the small things that drive me insane. Let's grumble.
So the other day, I was trying to bleach my friend's hair, and the bowl I had happened to be in ounces. And the measuring cup I had was, of course, in milliliters. Now, why there's two different standard forms of measurement is absolutely beyond me. I don't understand why we can't just come together and agree on one conclusive form of measurement. So I'm sitting there doing algebra, trying to figure out how to bleach my friend's hair without making it chemically fall off. Convert ounces to milliliters and back. So before you know it, I broke a sweat before I even started bleaching this man's head. And then, of course, we just went through the Olympics recently. They're talking about how they're doing a 5-kilometer race. I have no idea what on earth you were talking about. I mean, we were just raised in this different set of inches and miles and feet. I mean, say you want to bake a pie. Well, of course, you got to scroll through about how it came from her dear Aunt Sally, who died from leukemia 5 years ago. But when you finally get to the actual recipe, of course, it's going to be from a Brit. So it's going to be in milliliters, which is standard, but not to us. No, because we measure everything out in cups and ounces. Back in high school, you would go from home economics over here and you were trying to make a good pecan pie to take home to your family and learn how to cook them. And so you're measuring everything out in ounces and cups and tablespoons. But then you go over there to the science building using milliliters and drops and this. Why can't we just make this simpler? I always think about what would ever happen if this place turned into Gilead and we suddenly had to get out of here and move to Canada or something. And you get up there and all of a sudden they're talking about you got to go 3 kilometers down the road. I'm going to be dead. It just seems a little too complicated to have to go back and forth and we're confusing the children. And then it just makes it too hard. My name is Corey Thompson and I hate measuring things. And that's the Grumble.
Grumble, 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 grumble.
What?
Grumble, 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 grumble. What's got your goat?
For the latter half of the show, we'll bring in my better half, Veronique, for an unpretentious look and a segment we call
What's got your goat? It's a good day for singing a song, and it's a good day for having a grumble. Hello!
Veronique, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling fantastic. I've also just learned that song. Anyway, we have a guest grumbler in the house.
Oh my.
We have Corey Thompson coming to you live from our studio, and it's a good day.
It's a good day
for singing a song, and it's a good day for moving along.
Okay, that's the part I did.
Just a disclaimer for those of you at home, Grumble Code is not live.
No. Yes, so thank you so much for coming and grumble with us today.
How exciting.
Very
Somebody
exciting.
new in the studio.
Someone new in the studio, and it's our first guest in a while. It almost feels like our second season guest.
Oh, honey, I am blessed and honored, I have to say.
Yeah, it's almost as if we went into lockdown again and had no guests for a little while, and now we're opening back up at the exact wrong time.
Exactly, but it's so funny because we had to take a break because we were all doing things.
Yeah, we were
Life
busy.
was coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's dying again.
And now it's
we're
dead.
dying.
Yeah.
But we're very excited to have you here in the studio because you will be moving to Georgia soon.
I am.
Taking the plunge into the South.
It's time to go down there. They said the devil went down to Georgia, and
And have you been there before?
many a times.
Because you're from Georgia.
I am from Georgia, born and raised. Haven't been there in 13 years. So lots changed since I've been down in those little parts.
13, that's a very unlucky number.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I don't know why that had to come up.
The devil went down to Georgia and 13 years went by and he's calling you home.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Hey, don't forget, it's a good day.
It's a good day for moving to Georgia. It's a good day.
Now, the last time I saw you, Corey, you were cutting my hair.
Oh, yes.
I did that. Yeah.
In quarantine.
That was one of my many hats that I like to wear in life.
If you remember, at the time I had a beard.
Right.
Yeah, and we both sort of figured out how to work on that beard together.
It was my first time doing a beard.
As it was my first time doing a beard.
It was a day of firsts.
So I had to take my mask off for that.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, but we were all comfortable. I don't think we were vaccinated at that point, were we?
No, I don't think we were.
No, I was vaccinated.
Okay.
Okay, then I probably was too.
Which it feels like it's been 2 years since we got our first shots.
That's why I was like, no, I wasn't vaccinated, but I was.
But I don't know. It's only really been like 6 months that all of us really have been
Right.
vaccinated.
Now,
right?
the quarantine started in 2005, right?
It seems like a million years. You know what I just noticed the other day? You know, the Olympics are done.
Oh, I know. They're finished.
Sunday was the last day of the Olympics.
I saw
that
Simone went
wild?
home and I said, oh,
Right.
it's over.
I was noticing when they were doing all that track and field, and stuff, they start talking about, and here they are, they got 100 kilometers left. They got 500, and they start talking about these things. And I have no earthly idea what they're talking about.
Kilometer?
Kilometers.
I think that's how much pressure it takes to kill a meter.
A kilometer.
That makes a lot of sense. I will say.
Yeah, that sounds
But
like
then
a
you have to
divide.
think about,
Or
well,
is
what
it-
is a meter?
Okay, exactly. Is it a kilometer?
Kilometer.
You're at a kilometer.
Now that reminds me of The Princess Bride.
Amazing.
Where
I've never seen her.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know her.
well,
She is fantastic. You have to see her.
I will.
Okay, good.
we're putting that on
Yeah.
immediately after we finish recording. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to put it in the background. You don't think that'll bother me?
I love a little ambiance.
Yes.
Well,
Talk
in it,
radio.
okay. So Christopher Guest builds a machine where he can suck life energy out of people.
Okay.
And so
It's almost like when they were finishing the finish line at the Olympics. It's like they're sucking that energy out and they're just like, I need to keep going for that next meter.
Oh my God. And
Yeah.
some of those people,
they're like, you have 100 meters left. And he's like, I'm going to kill a meter.
I'm going to kill a meter. Let me tell you.
So in The Princess Bride, Christopher Guest builds a machine.
Yes.
And he has Carrie Elwes hooked up to it. And he's like, "Arr!" He's in like a lot of pain. He says, I've just sucked a year of your life away.
Oh.
That seems to me like if you can measure how much of somebody's life force you've sucked, that's a kilometer.
Oh my goodness.
okay.
We
You
just
know.
got deep.
Are you not a fan
How
of the
many
metric
miles
system?
did we just go on?
No, it's not the metric system. It's the fact that there's more than one system. It's like I can't figure out if I'm coming or going sometimes.
So now when you dye people's hair, because you can dye people's hair all around the world, things are in different measurements.
I can't
on the
with
box.
it. But when you were just talking about different sizes, that also brings up the whole thing about t-shirts and clothing, hon.
Okay.
Do you know what about different sizes?
Oh,
Sure.
yes.
Oh, I
There's
get
no
that.
standard.
I love
No.
that when I'm shopping on Amazon or something online,
Yes.
and they'll be like, "Oh, these are Asian sizes, so a medium should order an extra large." And I'm like,
Right.
"Hold on, wait a second. Why is it just called extra large? Why is it-
Right.
like, what's going on here?"
Right. It says UK, it says US, and then it has different other
Right.
countries, and then it puts their sizes in there.
But then you also got discrepancies from store to store, right? So, like, what is my size? Well, I wear a medium, but a large feels so good, I'll buy an extra large. But if you go down to the J.C. Penney, it's got to be an extra small.
well, I know I love going to Old Navy for pants because I fit into a size 6, and I'm very happy about that.
But see, you may not fit into a size 6 anywhere else because you don't know.
Girl, I know.
I just don't understand why there's not standards for these things.
It's crazy because we all agree on numbers. Like we all agree that
Yes.
1 and 5 mean 1 and 5.
Right.
But then we have different systems for measuring what the numbers
Right.
mean. And
Well,
it's like,
I have a problem with this when you go to different countries and you're driving because it is in kilometers everywhere besides the United States.
We're literally the only country in the world
Right.
that uses this system.
Yes.
I think Myanmar might use it too.
But like I get, if you're in a different part of the country, oh, they drive on the other side of the road.
You're just talking about the other side of the street. Like,
Right. But in Iceland, you do drive on the American side of the road.
I could see you. So you went over to Iceland and you were like, I'm in Europe. And you started driving on the other side of the street.
No, I was told that we drive on the American the right side of the road. And I was like, oh, okay, great.
Oh, they called it the
But-
American side of the road.
I'm clarifying. But everything was still in like kilometers or whatever.
Did you not buy enough liters of gas? Is that
Well,
what
wait a minute. Well, the car that you're driving now, is the car in kilometers or is it?
Well, in the U.S., the thing will say both.
Oh, on the inside and outside.
Kilometers per hour. And yes, exactly. Exactly.
That's what those numbers are.
But we don't know what to use them for.
Right.
We're like, what are these? I was
Now-
watching a TV show earlier and they said, now, if you get within 300 meters of the shoreline, we're going to get a ticket. They got a ticket because Americans don't know what 300 meters are. And it's like they were not set up for success.
And they lived here.
Standards.
Standards.
You know what I love? When
Yes.
I'm pulling out my toolbox and I'm gonna work on something, and then
Measurement.
I don't know if it's in millimeters or if it's in imperial.
Imperial. That
That is
sounds like
the-
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun. I'll need that quarter-inch wrench now.
Then it's measured in lightsabers.
No. Ooh, no. I am your standard.
Oh, but that's another thing now. Here we are. Music. Forte. It's written in a different language.
Yeah, but it's still the standard. Like we don't have a different word for forte.
Right.
You know, it doesn't say loud on American
Right.
music.
Oh.
We didn't have to be difficult there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were like 5 bars, got it.
I feel like we pick and chose where we wanted to make our life difficult and not. And this was just one of those battles that
Yeah.
we've chose to wage against the rest of the world.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, exactly. Like, you know, when they're throwing the tea in the bay, do you think that was one of the things that they were
Yeah,
going
do
to
you
say?
steep it for 5 minutes if it's American tea? It's a different measurement.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, do you think they had to sort it out? Like they were pulling the barrels out and they're like, let's throw 16 gallons in. They're like, wait, this is measured in liters. Okay, it's about 4 liters to a gallon, but not exactly. Okay, I don't know, just throw a bunch in the bay.
Are you going to drink it?
When you said 300 meters
Yeah.
a little bit ago, and when I think meter, I just think yard. In my mind, it's the same measurement. So you say 300 meters, I'm like, that's 3 football fields. Done. But then when I say that, people correct me. But when I grew up, I went to Catholic school.
Okay.
And the nuns, just like in
Ruler.
just like
ruler. Pacha, pacha.
Yeah, they carry
Top of the
yardsticks. But
And they
on
hit
one
you.
side of the yardstick, it's a measured out yard. The other side of a yardstick is a meter.
I know.
So it's
I
the
did
same
not
ruler
know.
to measure.
I knew that because of art.
So wait, a meter and a yard are the same thing?
No, they're not though. That's the thing. There's like an inch and a half difference between.
It's an
Why?
inch and
But
a
it's
half.
almost the same thing. So when I got beaten on the wrist, it was like non-discriminatory measurements. It was like with a yard and a meter. I got beaten.
But that's why you're so literal now.
They beat it into him.
Exactly.
I had Georgia public education, so I'm blessed to know what a milliliter is.
I'm gonna kill a leader.
Right?
That was what the French Revolution was all about.
What do you mean? Killing a leader? Oh my goodness.
Oh, the cleverness of you.
Look at you.
That's why I host a podcast, guys.
How do you feel about baking?
So here we measure everything in like cups, right?
Yeah, cups.
And ounces.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah. Ounces and cups.
Right,
That's like a little
right.
confusing.
Ounces is funny because we use that as a weight and as a volume.
right, that's what I was gonna get at is you gotta be careful when you're dealing with an ounce, right?
Right. We all know what an ounce
But what is an ounce?
Maybe we all don't know what an ounce is.
Veronique, how do we know what it is?
I know what an eighth is, that's for sure.
Oh,
you feel like you can measure out an eighth of an ounce?
You know, in a little container, maybe I can tell what an eighth is.
Yeah, some things we measure out in Ziploc bags.
We just eyeball it.
it's just so weird to me that you got ounce. The word ounce means about 17 different things in a kitchen. You got to figure out which one of those it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then you go overseas and it's so simple.
Yeah, it's all
you got
magnitudes of 10.
milliliters to liters. Oh my God. I guess there's about 100 of those, right?
But you're speaking a foreign language to me. I don't even know what that means.
Right. Here you got 8 ounces in a cup.
And I still don't know what that means.
What are we talking about
Where's
here?
my composition book?
You know, inches used to be based on how long the king's thumb was. Like a foot was literally
Is
the
that
king's
where they got
foot.
it?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's why it's called the
honey.
imperial system.
Are you a size
So is that why
7?
there's 12 inches in a foot?
Well, don't you have 12 thumbs in a foot?
No.
I don't know.
We have 10. We have 10 toes. Oh, toes.
10 thumbs.
We know that for sure. But that means that was a big king.
That is one thing that I find Europeans are lacking on is when we talk about height. Like when we talk about height.
We are very tall.
Oh, I'm 5 foot. Oh, that's short. I'm 6'1". Oh, that's tall. So we have different starting numbers. In Europe, everybody's 1 meter something. So like, how boring is that?
But does that mean that we're 1 meter-ish? I think I'm a couple meters tall.
Well, see, then when you start talking about that, it makes me think about weight.
I'm 2 yardsticks. Maybe I'm 2.5 yardsticks.
Do we have a yardstick?
You're going to have yardsticks?
I mean,
yards, but yards are our system.
I think it's
2.5 yards is 7.5 feet tall.
Also 4 lightsabers.
This has been an episode of Grumble Goat.
Thanks for listening.
I'm Matt Labodka.
I'm Veronique Hurley. Please subscribe.
I hate when people say please subscribe.
Grumble, grumble, grumble.
But a large feels so good, I'll buy an extra large.